This is the last analysis of the DFW real estate market performance for the Hunt County, Kaufman County, Henderson County, and Navarro County in North Texas. Let's take a look at what we have. This is the graph of the median prices for those counties. You can see the colors for the graphs on the screen. So what we can observe so far, just jumping to the performance of the market overall, is that we started this year. So let's take a look at where we started this year. In, let's just say, a month, year-to-year comparison. In December of 2023, Hunt County median was at 258, Kaufman at 310, Henderson County was $334,000, and Navarro County was $257 as a median sale price of the property. If we just jump back to the results for as of December 1st, 2024, exactly 1 year later, we see that Hunt County is at 261, which is a $3,000 increase over the course of the year. Very modest increase. The Kaufman County is at 317, which is a $7,000 increase over the course of the entire year. Henderson County is at 356, which is a $22,000 increase over the course of the year, the largest increase among all these four counties. And then Navarro County is actually at $223,000 median price range, which is a minus $27,000 decrease from where it was exactly 1 year ago. So we can see that the winner, despite the volatility, you can see that the pricing had some volatility in it. For example, we can see that based on, of course, on the sample, because there are more homes for sale, let's just say in Kaufman County, than there would be in Navarro County or in Henderson County. So we see more price volatility based on the fewer pieces of data in a sample for Henderson County, but nevertheless, of the three counties where we have no price volatility, is very stable. We see that the winner among these three counties is definitely the Kaufman County with $7,000 increase, and then followed by Henderson County, Hunt County, and then we have a minus $27,000, a loser in a price game for Navarro County, and then the Henderson County strikes as a lot of price volatility simply because it's on a lake, and on a lake you can have maybe one home selling for $1.5 million, and the next month a home that's not directly on the water, doesn't have the water view, but maybe in the same neighborhood selling for, let's just say, $350,000. I have seen those huge disparities in prices based on the proximity to the lakeshore in the Henderson County, in some other lake counties nearby. Long story short, among the counties that we do see, we see that Navarro County was in a worst position as far as from standpoint of investment. So if you're thinking about investing in Navarro County, just keep in mind that the trend was very negative for it in 2024 at the very least. We don't know how it's going to be in 2025, but we do know that the best performance of those counties besides Henderson was Kaufman County. Not surprising, the largest number of homes is being built in Kaufman County, which is Forney and a couple of surrounding areas. This is as far as the median sale prices. Let's take a look at our month supply. On the month supply side, what's Navarro County is once again beating the trend, but let's take a look at the overall trend. The overall trend for most counties except for Navarro is actually showing the same type of pattern that we have seen in previous years. No surprises here. Those homes that are owner occupied, which is probably about 50% of the market, now we are talking only about residential single family 3 to 4 bedroom resale. New construction is not a part of this game, not a part of this graph. But nevertheless, what we see is that we have a fairly good seasonal pattern developing, where at the end of the year, during the Christmas and Thanksgiving holidays, many owner-occupied properties go off market, creating a sharp drop-off in properties. The interesting part is that the sharp drop-off in the number of properties listed for all counties happened very early in the year compared to, let's just say, later months. in previous years. So this year, right after August, most sellers actually took their properties off the market, whether they decided not to sell, wait till the next year, or sold them off market, which is quite all possible also. We do not know. But we see that for the Henderson, Kaufman, and Hunt County, we see a very distinct pattern, very different pattern for Navarro County. Instead of reducing the number of listings toward the Christmas holidays, it actually increased sharply. And when I say sharply, it really jumped from October to November to December, which is kind of surprising given the fact that it was clear that the year is not going too well price-wise for that county. That is as far as month supply. Let's take a look at closed sales. Closed sales indicate demand for homes. Again, we see that we typically, so this is 4 years represented in here, year number 1, year number 2, year number 3, and year number 4. As you can see, in most years, we have a pretty distinct pattern, and I do not see this year's pattern of demand for homes deviating too much from the previous year's pattern. So from that standpoint, we can expect to see continuation of, as you can see, the pattern in 2024 followed the pattern of 2023 almost to a T. Pattern of 2023 was a little bit smoother, it seems. Pattern of 2024 was a little bit more abrupt in terms of demand. But nevertheless, based on what I'm seeing, in January, we're going to see the lowest number of home buyers, just simply because people are still recovering from their holidays. And then we can see a huge jump in the number of home buyers, at least for Kaufman County and for Hunt County, a little bit less for Henderson and Navarro County. We see a big jump in number of home buyers starting in January. Now, when we see these numbers, so let's just say February, we need to think that these contracts were written 20 to 30 days prior. So contracts that closed in February probably were written in January, if that makes sense. So what I am predicting is that at the beginning of next year, basically second, third week of January, we're probably going to see a sharp increase in the number of home shoppers who are starting to look for homes again. And that number grows, and I believe it has something to do with the tax refunds as well. And then, of course, typically we get the highest number of home shoppers during May and June when the kids are out of school. Let's take a look at the days on market. Okay, days on market are a little bit volatile for all counties represented here, especially volatile for Henderson County. Seems to be the most, the homes sit for longer in Henderson County. Now that's often because many of them are lake homes, definitely or more likely to be second homes, not the primary homes, or maybe primary homes, but for people who do not necessarily need to be directly in Dallas all the time. But counties that are a little bit closer to Dallas seem to be at a moderate number of days in the market, but below the days in the market about a year ago. So if we look at the days in the market in the last January, we can see that they were in some cases higher than they are this year. Not for all counties, but for some counties. What I'm seeing is that there is seem to be a slight decrease in days in the market for Hunt County. As you can see, this blue line dips forward, which is beating the trend for all the other lines. And last but not least, percentage of the original price, or by how much do the properties are expected to maybe have to reduce their price in order to sell. So 100% is 100% of their original price. So let's just say they'll list it at $350. And then if they ended up selling at $340, that means a 10% price reduction at the end of the sale. So we can see that the only county who was selling at the, or almost at the asking price, was Navarro County toward January of this year. And since then, pretty much all markets had to see pretty good price reductions before they could sell. As you can see right now, we're at 92 to 94%, and with Navarro County being as low as 88%, 89% of the asking price. So we can see that Navarro County is just not having a very good year overall. For those of you who are thinking about potentially flipping homes in Navarro County, just be aware that when you are creating your ARV, your after repair value, and thinking the maximum allowable offer, just be aware that your maximum allowable offer might have to sustain a 10% hit or 10% reduction before you can sell if you're, let's just say, in Navarro County, or 5 to 6% reduction if you're in Kaufman or Henderson County. So when you're creating your ARV, your after repair value, just keep in mind that you might have to adjust it downwards by anywhere between 5 to 10% in order to come to an actual accurate prediction of what your sale price might be next year. Now, those are very, very conservative estimates, but if you go by those conservative estimates, hopefully you will avoid surprises by the time that you're ready to put your house on the market. That's it right now for the discussion about Hunt, Kaufman, Henderson, and Navarro counties in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. My name is Elena Garrett, and I'm a realtor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. I work for Keller Williams Central in Dallas, and I work a lot with investors who are flippers, landlords, subject to an existing loan, and any kind of creative buyers. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I'll see you at the next video.